Well, firstly, you know it's a union protest when it's teeming rain, because it always is. But we're used to it and we're hardened to it, and we don't care, because we're here with a very, very clear message to the Secretary of State and his bureaucrats behind me. And we're here very much so to stand with our PCS colleagues who are on strike today, and to those in the Housing Executive who are also on strike today. Colleagues, we came here with a clear message of the anger that our members feel about how they're being treated. A Tory government who, one Prime Minister after another, just gets worse. A band of liars and millionaires who don't give a toss for working class people. There are over 160,000 workers on strike in Britain, and we stand with them. We stand here today on budget day, and we know that the Chancellor is going to rise to his feet and do nothing for working class people. They're going to tell us again, as they always do, that there is no money. Yet at the same time they'll hand out millions to bail out Silicon Valley Bank and other bankers. They will give millions to their friends in failed PPE contracts, and they will essentially treat us with complete contempt and disdain. So as Alan has said, we're going to be here until, it's going to be a long battle, but we're going to be here until they have no choice but to give in. I was intending to hand in a letter today to the Secretary of State's office, but because our colleagues in PCS are in strike, I couldn't cross the picket line to do that. Now, surprisingly, one of the individuals from inside the building did come out, because he was expecting to get a letter. So we had a quick word. Now, he didn't say anything. But he did listen, and it was uncomfortable listening for him, because I've written to the Secretary of State on 2 occasions. I know that Unison have written to the Secretary of State on 2 occasions. Our colleagues in Health handed in a letter on the last strike day, and none of us have even had a response. So that's the contempt that the Secretary of State feels towards workers. He has met with business leaders. He is contemplating meeting with paramilitaries, and yet he has failed to meet with representatives of the biggest cross-community organisations here, which is the trade union movement. We represent 200,000 workers, and yet he's treating us with complete contempt. So he's a typical Tory, and you know, we don't expect any better from them. So it is time that we, you know, in the old saying, Tories out, it's long past due. But colleagues, one of the things that I want to just finish on, some of my members in the civil service and members in GMB and Unite and other unions, from the 1st of this month, will be earning less than the living, from the 1st of April, will be earning less than the living wage. Now, I'm not saying the living wage is a living wage. It is far cry from a living wage. But the very fact that from April, those workers will not even be earning the living wage is a damned indictment on a Tory government. The public sector workers who were treated as essential during the pandemic are now being treated with absolute disdain. So, just to finish and echo what I think it was Alan Perry said about us all coming out together, or maybe it was Dawn from UCU. And that's the message that I now want to have, because we had hoped that we were going to have a public sector-wide strike on the 16th of March. For one reason or another, that hasn't happened. I'm still hopeful that that the trade unions here will strike together, that we will work together, because we are better united. And I think that if we join our collective strike, there is no shortage of anger, there is no shortage of determination to fight. And I think that if we join our collective anger, we can make a real difference.